Have you ever wondered what the world would look like in 10 years from now? Well, let's first consider how we got here. Prior to the 1760s, the cultivation of crops and domestication of animals created a more stable food supply, which led to the development of more centralized civilizations with complex social organization. Population growth and urbanization in Europe led to an era of European exploration and colonization. Between 1760 and 1890, the world experienced an industrial revolution. Major inventions like the steam engine, sewing machine, telegraph, typewriter, and automobile forever changed the way humans would work, communicate, and travel. Since the second half of the 20th century, rapid globalization has resulted in mass human migrations, as well as revolutionary developments in technologies and telecommunications. This has enabled the movement of money, knowledge, and technology faster than ever before. But what exactly have these advancements amounted to? So far, the world has consumed 875 billion barrels of oil. Since 1751, approximately 337 billion metric tons of carbon has been released into the atmosphere from the consumption of fossil fuels and cement production. The BP oil spill released 210 million gallons of oil into the Atlantic Ocean, causing insurmountable costs to the environment as well as the local fishing economy. 1 in 10 major rivers around the world no longer flow into the sea for several months of the year. In the last 40 years, the Amazon rainforest has been reduced by 20%. Since 1950, the world's population has nearly tripled, and currently, 1 in 6 people live in an overpopulated area without basic human necessities. So, what will the world look like in 2025? There has been a great push among nations, NGOs, and businesses to implement sustainability practices to mitigate the impacts of global issues mentioned. If we continue this sustainable approach, in 2025 it is projected that the total energy consumption will rise by about 50% from 2005 levels despite a growing trend for energy efficiency. India's greenhouse gas emissions will rise by 70%. The world population will reach 7.9 billion people. Population growth will likely cause 36 countries to be either cropland or water scarce. Global temperature will increase by 2 degrees. Permafrost will reach an irreversible melting point, which will result in the emission of 190 gigatons of carbon into the atmosphere. In fact, the global cumulative economic cost of climate change will be between 2 and 4 trillion US dollars by 2030, accounting anywhere between 5 and 20% of global GDP. These projections tell us that sustainability is not enough. At most, it will limit the rate at which global deterioration and exploitation will occur. But what if there was a different way? A way to improve the functioning of ecosystem services while maintaining our current quality of life? What if businesses, through their actions, leave the world in a better state than it is today and move beyond sustainability? What if achieving a net positive impact was possible? There are several companies that have already implemented net positive initiatives. Home improvement corporations are leading reforestation projects, while the building industry is developing energy-positive infrastructure. Technological innovation has led to energy-efficient water desalination, generation of plastics out of carbon emissions, and closing the loop on product supply chains by finding new ways to use waste from other industries. Yeah, we're excited too. So, which one would you prefer? That's right, going beyond sustainability will help us meet the global challenges while maintaining the bottom line of businesses. If sustainability is not a sufficient approach to economic growth, how can we make the transition to go beyond sustainability? The concept we're talking about is regenerative design.
Let's begin with the definition. Regenerative design is the study of how, through the interaction with the natural environment, ecosystem services, and natural capital can be preserved and ultimately revitalized through net positive practices.
How can regenerative design be achieved?
This is something that's been on the mind of Anthony Watanabe and Innovolve Group. Anthony is taking a year-long sabbatical to travel to different parts of the world in order to explore the concept of regenerative design and to establish a business case for its implementation. Identifying key business examples and drivers for regenerative design will help accomplish this goal. The findings obtained will have the greatest impact in newly emerging economies, as these economies have the greatest potential for economic growth and environmental regeneration.